Today we have with us an international student from Nigeria. Her name is Edith, and she's going to tell you about her experience with Fort Smith Chi Alpha.
Hi, my name is Edith. I'm an international student from Nigeria, and my major is biology. I moved to Fort Smith like 2 years ago, and so I'm going to be a junior next semester. Well, growing up in Nigeria, I was raised Catholic, and so I was put in a boarding school, which is really common. And all my life, like all my high school years, I tried to follow the rules. I was, trying to be a good person, and I thought I was a pretty good person. I just followed all the rules and did what I was supposed to do at what time I was supposed to do it. And so I didn't get in trouble for anything with the authorities or like with my friends or my parents a lot. And so I thought I was a pretty good person. But then my whole world came crashing down when I left high school. So after high school, before college, I had 1 year off. And so I was in the real world, but not in college yet. And so I found myself being so aware of when I did something wrong, I just became so aware of it, and it weighed down on me so much. I would realize that what I just did was wrong, and I would feel that praying or talking to God in those moments was just not, it wasn't worth it, because He wasn't listening at all, because I was so guilty of my sin. And so this went on for a while. I kept feeling guilty and lonely, and I kept shutting people out, thinking, well, I'm a bad person now. I can't talk to God anymore. I can't pray anymore. And this went on for quite a while, for months. And so I moved to the US to start college, and at the airport, these goofy people came to pick me up. They're the Chi Alpha people, and so they were my first friends. So they dropped me off at my dorm, and each time I wanted to go out because I didn't have a car, each time I wanted to go to Walmart or the AT&T store or the bank, they're the only ones I could call. They're the only ones I knew, and so I'd call one or two of them, Ashley most importantly. I would call Ashley to come pick me up, and she'd take me places. We'd go shopping, sometimes we'd go hang out at her apartment, and we became really close. And so I felt, she told me about Chi Alpha at first, and she told me she was the vice president at the time, and I just sit there and listen just because I thought I had to. And so she would invite me to come to service, or to come to an event they're holding, and most of the time I just went because one, my friends were there, and two, I felt that I owed her that much because she's been awesome in taking me out to places and welcoming me into American culture. And so I would go, and for months I would just sit at service, just sit there and wait for it to be over with so I can talk to my friends. I just sit there and just wait for the time to pass, because I had my walls up. I just kept thinking, well, they don't know what they're saying, or they're making stuff up. And so after a while, I got my first Bible. She gave me my first Bible for my birthday, and I actually started reading it for myself to understand what it said. And I realized that what they were actually saying or teaching at Chi Alpha service or leadership or meetings, whatever we had, was actually from the Bible. They weren't trying to make stuff up, because most of the things in the Bible are not things you would naturally come up with as a human being, And so I started reading the Bible, and I realized that this is actual truth that they're talking about. And so I started paying more attention at Chi Alpha. I started journaling and trying to get in all that I can, and then it was just uphill from there. I just started learning so much about the cross and about God's sacrifice for me, and how I don't have to feel guilty or lonely, because He's not surprised anytime I mess up, because that's who I am, a sinner. And that's why He had to come intervene with the cross, and that's why He gave us the gift of the cross, so we won't feel guilty or feel apart from Him. And so learning that was just the highlight of my year, just realizing that and just basking in that. And I felt myself, overwhelmed with peace, and just knowing about His joy and His love just made me so happy and so joyful all the time. And so I started going more, attending Chi Alpha more and more. I found myself unable to skip, even if I was tired. I just knew things I needed to hear and I needed to learn. And so there was a point when I started going and I started experiencing these things, and then I started I think God opened my eyes to see those around me where I used to be. Like, they didn't know about the cross, and they didn't know about his help and his intervention. And I wanted to, tell people about him, because I don't think it's possible to have so much joy and know of so much peace and not want to tell others about it. And so I looked into being a leader and trying to, have a small group. And so last semester I actually did the D class with the leaders, and so I get to have a small group this semester, which I am so excited for. I am pumped, and I want to target international students, but it's not limited to that. I just wanna share the gospel with people, whoever that might be, wherever that might be. I just want to do it, because I can't know all I know and experience all I experience and sit in place, not knowing what to do with it. And I felt I was really equipped, like, with the class, and I have all I need to actually start somewhere. And I don't have everything figured out. I don't have everything planned out, because I don't think anyone actually does. But I know that I have Jesus wherever I go, and he'll lead me. Like, he led me to him, he's going to lead others to him, hopefully through me. And I just want to be a vessel, and I think that's all I need to understand to start.
What an incredible testimony. I just want to be honest real quick. I had not heard her full testimony until she gave it right there on camera. Just incredible how she, grew up just searching and looking with all these walls up, but Jesus, doing what he does best, made a way and walked right through those walls to her situation. And now she is studying on campus to become a doctor. She's going to work on getting her master's and then go back home and spread the gospel where she's at. And that's the important thing about Chi Alpha, is that we have an opportunity to reach international students here with the gospel, and they go back home as missionaries. So it's almost missions in reverse. It's an extremely great opportunity to be a part of this ministry. If you'd like to know more, send me an email. We'd be glad to share more.